Good morning. Thank you for joining me today for Monday morning devotion. When a young couple falls in love, they are amazed at how much they are alike, how much they agree on, and how much they finish each other's sentences, and how much they just love being in each other's company. But the longer, they are together, their differences seem to come to the surface and they seem to be bigger than life. They have their first argument and the world seems to crash around them. Often, when married couples come for counseling, they are encouraged to rediscover what brought them together in the first place. They are to remember what they found amusing about each other and enjoyable, and life, we all know, has a way of crowding those things out. So often, a timeout is needed to rediscover the blessing of each other. Jesus often talked about loving one another. In John chapter 13, verses 34 and 35, he said, "A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. As I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this, all will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another." In other words, this verse is saying those who call themselves followers of Jesus Christ will be known by their love for each other. In fact, Jesus' longest recorded prayer is found in John 17. That prayer is for those of us who believe in him to love as he loves us and to be at one or in unity with one another as he is one in union with the Father. When we first come to Jesus, we are full of his love. We love the church. We love the people in the church. We love everything about God. But as we serve him longer and become involved in serving him in our local fellowship, we discover that many of us have differences of opinion, different personalities, and experiences in life which color our reactions to each other. Often we need to rediscover, though, just like the young married couple, what it is that we love about God and his people. Love is not to be confused with the word like. We may never like everything about a person, but we can love them. We may find that we have little in common with someone and they're just not BFF material, but we can love them as a brother or sister in Christ. In 1 Corinthians 13, Paul is writing to the Corinthian church. They had gotten themselves way off track in a lot of areas. And the intention of this entire letter seems to be to bring them back around to their first love. Often these scriptures are used in wedding ceremonies, but they actually are written to fellow believers in Christ, the church. The verses explain what Christ-like love looks like and what Christ-like love is not. Verse 1 begins by saying, "Though I speak with the tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I have become sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have faith, so that I can remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing." And if that isn't convincing enough, Paul continues in verses 4 through 7 with, "Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself, is not puffed up, does not behave rudely, does not seek its own, is not easily provoked, thinks no evil, does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things." And if you want to see if you have that kind of love, just insert your name where the description of what love is. Using my name, it would sound something like, "Candy suffers long and is kind," which means Candy is patient. Candy does not envy. Candy does not parade herself around, is not puffed up. Candy does not behave rudely. Candy does not seek her own. Candy is not provoked. Candy thinks no evil. Candy does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. Candy bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Ouch. Instead of excusing our lack of love and placing the blame on everyone else, let's ask Jesus to help us to love like him and be the example he desires us to be. Paul closed his thoughts in verse 13 with, "And now abide faith, hope, love. These three, but the greatest of these is love." How are you being tested in this area of love? This week, ask Jesus to help you rediscover your love for him and for the people in your church fellowship, as well as the people he has placed into your life. Have a blessed week, everyone. I look forward to seeing you next Monday.